We all have a love-hate relationship with wireless microphones. They're the necessary evil in our industry. Many times we try to set up our microphones only to find that they are defeated by some competing frequency in the area. The biggest offender are television stations, broadcast over-the-air stations that use repeater towers in our area. Some microphone manufacturers do have a scan function built into the devices to, in theory, evaluate the area and select a frequency that is not in use. However, these are not foolproof. An attempt to try to make the scan feature as useful as possible, you definitely want to make sure all wireless devices are on and transmitting, so not only receivers but belt packs or handhelds, before you do any scanning. Otherwise, they won't pick up the other devices using those frequencies. That said, my microphones do not have that feature. So in an effort to prepare for an upcoming event, I do a little bit of online research. We probably are all familiar with Shure microphones. And the Shure company has put out a little online resource informing you of what microphone frequencies are available in the area given a zip code. If you go to Shure.com, Shure, and then click on support, and then click on online and software tools, you'll be taken to a page where it lists the Shure Wireless Frequency Finder. On the Frequency Finder webpage, you can put in a zip code of the location of the event you're working, and then you need to select a wireless package that they might have provided. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to have Shure microphones. I just do this so that I can benefit from the frequencies that they're informing me of. I often will select the SLX, which happens to be discontinued, and then click Search. You'll then be provided a number of bands, and again, that is what Shure uses to kind of identify the frequency ranges for their microphones, but the information they're providing is still relevant. If you select one of the bands by clicking the plus button, it will then just give you kind of random number channels. Again, this is Shure's way of managing frequencies. But in the upper right corner of each one of these little boxes, it says Show Frequencies. And that's what's really valuable to us. Each one of the frequencies that Shure is providing is a known good frequency in the area from the zip code you typed in, meaning that there are no TV stations that are competing with these. This would be your first line or first choice of frequencies to use on your microphone sets to have success. You will notice that Shure offers a number of bands. If you find in that particular band you selected it does not overlap with your microphone's frequencies, select another band. But you will have to be familiar with what your microphone's frequency range is. If you do not know, or if it is not listed on your receiver, just turn on the microphone. Start scrolling up and down. See what the low end frequency is and the high end frequency is. There is your range. If you have to tune more than one wireless mic in the same frequency range, word of advice is to make sure that they are at least 1 megahertz apart from one another. And in reality, I try to get them as far apart from one another as I can, using again these frequency ranges that Shure has provided as a starting point. The last note that I will make is some of the microphone manufacturers do not have a frequency that ends perfectly on a 0. For example, it might be 548.250 or 553.700. And if you find that your microphones end in a like 705 or 735, just know that you're still selecting a frequency that's extremely close to a good frequency in the area. Once you have set frequencies for all of the microphones that you're going to be using, of course, nothing beats a good test and definitely walk the whole area that anybody using a microphone would be walking or possibly position themselves in.